Charlemagne, or Charles the Great, was the king of the Franks and the founder of the Carolingian Empire. He was recognized as a Roman emperor, the first in Western Europe in 3 centuries. He united much of Western Europe and extended the influence of his empire far beyond the physical borders of his territory. Now here is a detailed life history of him from birth to death. Charlemagne, likely born on April 2, 742, was the son of Pepin the Short and Bertrada of Laon. His birthplace is not definitively known, but historians believe he was born in the region of modern-day Belgium or northern France. Charlemagne came from a lineage of the Carolingian dynasty, which had gradually taken control of the Frankish realm. The Franks, a Germanic people who settled in what is now France and parts of Germany, were led by the Merovingian dynasty until Pepin, Charlemagne's father, seized power. Pepin, initially the mayor of the palace under the last Merovingian king, usurped the throne in 751, becoming the first Carolingian king with the support of the Pope. This alliance between the Carolingians and the papacy would become a central theme of Charlemagne's reign. Charlemagne had a younger brother, Carloman, born around 751. Although the two brothers were close in age, their personalities and ambitions would later lead to tension when they co-ruled the Frankish Kingdom. Rise to power and the Frankish Kingdom division, 768 to 771. When Pepin died in 768, the Frankish Kingdom was divided between Charlemagne and Carloman, as Frankish succession customs often split territories among sons to avoid conflicts. Charlemagne ruled the northern and western portions of the realm, including Neustria and Austrasia, modern-day France and western Germany, while Carloman controlled the eastern part. The relationship between Charlemagne and Carloman was tense. Carloman showed little cooperation with Charlemagne in military and political matters, creating a divided kingdom. Carloman, however, died suddenly in 771 under mysterious circumstances, leaving Charlemagne as the sole ruler of the Frankish Kingdom. Seizing this opportunity, Charlemagne quickly consolidated power, incorporating Carloman's territories and beginning his ambitious plan to expand his influence and unify Europe under his rule. Military campaigns and conquests, 772 to 804. Charlemagne's reign was marked by relentless military campaigns that aimed to expand and consolidate his empire. His campaigns not only sought territorial control, but also a unification of Western Europe under Christianity. 1. The Saxon Wars, 772 to 804. The Saxons, a confederation of pagan Germanic tribes in what is now northern Germany, became Charlemagne's fiercest adversaries. Charlemagne launched his first campaign against them in 772, beginning a brutal and prolonged war. Over the next 3 decades, he fought more than 18 battles against the Saxons, facing continual resistance. Charlemagne responded harshly, reportedly executing 4,500 Saxon prisoners at the massacre of Verdun in 782, an event that remains controversial. The Saxon Wars finally ended around 804 when Charlemagne achieved full control over the region, incorporating it into his empire and enforcing conversion to Christianity. 2. The Lombard Campaign, 773 to 774. Charlemagne's involvement in Italy began when Pope Adrian I appealed for assistance against the Lombards, who had expanded into papal territory. Charlemagne invaded northern Italy in 773, defeated the Lombard king Desiderius, and declared himself king of the Lombards, securing the Pope's alliance. This campaign strengthened the relationship between Charlemagne and the papacy, establishing the Carolingians as protectors of the Church. 3. The Spanish expedition and the Battle of Roncesvalles Pass, 778. Charlemagne turned his attention to Spain, then under the control of various Muslim and Christian factions. In 778, he crossed the Pyrenees to aid Muslim rebels in Zaragoza. However, the campaign was unsuccessful, and Charlemagne's forces withdrew. During their retreat, They were ambushed by Basque forces at Roncesvalles Pass, where Charlemagne's rearguard suffered heavy losses, including his knight Roland. This battle inspired the Song of Roland, a major work of medieval literature that romanticized Charlemagne's court and military prowess. 4. Campaigns in Bavaria and against the Avars, 787 to 796. Charlemagne sought to extend his influence eastward and subdue rebellious Germanic tribes. He annexed Bavaria in 788, incorporating it fully into his realm. Charlemagne then turned his attention to the Avars, a nomadic people settled in the Pannonian Basin, modern-day Hungary. The Ava campaigns were challenging but ultimately successful, leading to the defeat of the Avars by 796. The capture of the Avars' wealth, including their fortified ring, significantly enriched Charlemagne's treasury. 5. Eastern expansion and relations with the Slavs. Charlemagne established diplomatic ties with several Slavic tribes and encouraged alliances with Christian Slavs, intending to integrate them into his empire and expand Christian influence in Eastern Europe. The Carolingian Renaissance, 780s to 800s, beyond military conquests, Charlemagne's rule was characterized by a revival of culture, learning, and religious reform known as the Carolingian Renaissance. This period saw a flowering of art, architecture, and scholarship, spurred by Charlemagne's efforts to standardize and improve education. 1. Educational reforms. Charlemagne believed education was essential for an orderly and Christian society. He established schools in monasteries and encouraged noble families to educate their children. The palace school at Aachen, led by the scholar Alcuin of York, became a hub for learning, attracting intellectuals from across Europe. Charlemagne himself took lessons and promoted literacy, although it is unclear if he ever learned to write fully. 2. Religious reforms. Charlemagne worked closely with the Pope to reform the Church and standardize Christian practices across his empire. He issued laws enforcing religious discipline, promoted moral behavior among the clergy, and mandated the use of the Roman Rite for worship. His goal was to create a unified, Christianized Europe. 3. Cultural achievements. Charlemagne encouraged the copying and preservation of classical Latin texts, ensuring the survival of many ancient works. The Carolingian minuscule, a clear and legible script, was developed under his patronage, making reading and copying texts more efficient. This script became the basis of modern European typography. 4. Administrative reforms. Charlemagne reorganized his empire, dividing it into counties ruled by counts and missi dominici, royal agents who supervised local officials and ensured loyalty. This system improved governance and centralized authority, making Charlemagne's vast empire more manageable. Coronation as emperor, 800. In 799, Pope Leo III sought Charlemagne's protection after being attacked and exiled by Roman nobility. Charlemagne intervened, restored the Pope, and secured Leo's position. In gratitude, Leo crowned Charlemagne as Emperor of the Romans on Christmas Day in the year 800 in St. Peter's Basilica. This title symbolized a revival of the Roman Empire in the West, a significant political and symbolic moment. It placed Charlemagne as a ruler chosen by God, with the Pope as his spiritual partner. Charlemagne's imperial title created tensions with the Byzantine Empire, which saw itself as the sole heir of Rome. Nonetheless, his coronation marked the foundation of what would later be known as the Holy Roman Empire. Personal life and family. Charlemagne married multiple times and had numerous children, both legitimate and illegitimate. His wives included Hildegard, Fastrada, and Liutgard, among others, while he also had several concubines. He reportedly had around 18 children, including legitimate heirs Charles the Younger, Pepin, and Louis the Pious. He ensured his daughters stayed unmarried, possibly to avoid entangling his empire in foreign alliances. Later years and succession, 813 to 814. In his final years, Charlemagne spent more time at his palace in Aachen, overseeing the administration of his empire. He appointed his son Louis the Pious as co-emperor in 813 to secure a smooth succession. On January 28, 814, Charlemagne died of illness, likely pneumonia, at around the age of 71. He was buried in Aachen Cathedral, which became a place of pilgrimage. Charlemagne's death marked the beginning of the Carolingian Empire's decline. His empire was eventually divided among his grandsons in the Treaty of Verdun, 843, leading to the fragmentation of his realm into what would become France, Germany, and Italy. However, his achievements endured, and he was later canonized, although this canonization is not recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. Charlemagne's legacy shaped European history, inspiring ideas of a united Christian Europe and laying the foundations for the Holy Roman Empire. The Carolingian Renaissance preserved classical knowledge, influencing medieval and Renaissance scholars. Today, he is remembered as one of Europe's greatest rulers, celebrated as a unifier and a symbol of Western civilization. Now you know who was he. If you truly respect and like him, just hit the like button, and also if you love this type of real history, just click the subscribe button. Now let's take a leave and again meet at another interesting history of King Menes, the legendary first king of unified Egypt. Up to that time, goodbye, have a nice day my friend.